meeting hall shall come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the Wishek FFA chapter. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times, and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep the record receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was very able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and resonant wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you. The secretary shall call the roll of members.
There are 6 members, 1 advisor, and numerous guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting of the Wishek FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Is there any further business?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Treasurer.
I move that we buy Mr. Anderson endless Buffalo Wild Wing for the year.
Second the motion.
I call for orders of the day.
The orders of the day have been called for. Madam Secretary, what are the orders of the day?
The order of the day are that we should discuss chapter exchange and chapter activity. These are the order of the day.
Are there any objections to following the orders of the day? Objections, objections. Seeing none, we'll proceed with the orders of the day. Is there any further business?
Madam President,
Chair recognizes Secretary.
I move that our chapter do an exchange program with another chapter from Florida.
Second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded by the Vice President that our chapter do an exchange program with another chapter from Florida. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Secretary.
Being secretary, I correspond with other secretaries around the state, and I have talked to many others, and they believe this is a wonderful idea. This is a great way to do a cultural shock. Just getting with another person from Florida with an FFA chapter, this is a wonderful learning experience, and I don't see any reason not to do such a great program. Get behind me and pass this motion.
Madam
Chair
President,
recognizes Vice President.
I'm completely against this motion. All I can think about is Laura Horner going down to Florida, me completely lost. We don't need this motion, and I also feel like this is going to be a lot of ours last year of high school. Why would we want to go down to Florida? This is our program. This is our FFA chapter. We need to stay in it. I hope you all feel this motion.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Reporter.
I agree with the previous speaker. I feel as though it would be a bad idea to do this exchange. It would be such a shock for these people to come all the way to North Dakota. Imagine how they would deal with the winters. I don't think that would be very easy for them at all. And I don't think it would be very easy going down, having to change, having to adapt to how different things would be. It would be very stressful and very hard for these people. So I hope you all get behind me and fail this motion.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Sentinel.
I wish to speak in favor of this motion. I think this is a great idea. This could be a great opportunity for us to learn how things down in Florida work and how they run their FFA chapter. We can teach them a little bit about ourselves. We can learn about their agricultural aspects of their life down there, and they can learn about ours. And this way, because of this, I believe an affirmative is the only plausible way to vote for this motion.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Treasurer.
I also, too, agree in the affirmative of this motion. If we have one person go down to Florida, they'll learn a lot of stuff. Vice versa, as a Florida person will come over to North Dakota, they'll also learn a lot. Also, this would not cost our chapter anything. The exchange student for going down to Florida will just have a host family that they won't have to buy anything. So it'll be a wonderful idea. So I encourage you all to pass this motion.
Madam President,
Chair recognizes Secretary.
I am still strongly for this motion. We are progressive agriculturists. We have to think about the benefits of this. Yes, winters is a learning experience. This is a huge learning experience for all benefits to North Dakota. And not only that, we get to see what Florida is like. There are so many different ways of running even parliamentary procedure down there. This is such a learning opportunity. Get behind me and pass this motion.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Vice President.
I move to suspend our standing chapter rules stating that we have to stand to second a motion.
Second to suspend.
It's been moved and seconded by the recorder that we suspend our standing chapter rules stating we have to stand to second a motion. All those in favor of this suspend, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion is lost. We will not suspend our standing chapter rules stating you have to stand to second a motion. We're now back in discussion of the main motion that reads that our chapter send a member down to Florida for an exchange program. Is there any discussion?
I asked for a parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
How many more times is this motion amendable?
Due to the fact that this is a main motion and has not already been amended, it can be amended 2 more times.
Thank you.
We're now back in discussion of the main motion that reads that our chapter hold an exchange program with another chapter from Florida. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair Van Sentinel.
By listening to the views of some previous speakers, I've changed my side. Now I'm against this motion. I just feel that if we would do this exchange program, we'd have a hard time adjusting to their climate being very hot and them living closer to the equator, and them moving up here would have a hard time adjusting to our cold weather, and we could also get homesick. We don't know who we're going to choose to go down there from each chapter. Some people might want to, some people might not. Maybe we'll get in a fight over it, like who gets to go or not. So I just feel like with these variables we just don't know, we should fill this motion.
Madam President, Chair Reporter. I move to refer this motion to a special committee of 3 appointed by the chair and give them the power to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second the referral.
It's been moved and seconded by the Vice President that we refer this motion to a special committee of 3 appointed by the chair and given the power to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Chair Reporter.
I feel as though this referral is our best option right now. We don't have a set time for when we need to decide this. We need to have more people to go get more information on this. We don't even know what the exchange programs are or what they have for these days. We don't know what's going on. We need people to go out, do some research, come back, and give us the information on it. So I feel this is the only way to vote.
Madam President.
Chair Vice President.
I'm also in favor of this referral. I feel like it's necessary that we, as our Sentinel pointed out, there's so many variables. Who's going to be going? What's going to be the cost? How are we going to even get it down there? Flight tickets are like $1,000, so we don't have that much money in our chapter when you consider it the whole aspect. I feel like this referral is necessary. I hope you all pass it.
Madam President.
Chair Treasurer.
I disagree with the views of the 2 previous speakers. We need to act on this right now. We have enough people to decide on this. It's not that many variables we need to include. All we need to include is who are we going to send. It's not that much to do, so I encourage you all to fill this referral.
Is there any more discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote on the referral that refers this motion to a special committee of 3 appointed by the chair and given the power to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting. All those in favor of this referral, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We will refer this motion to a special committee of 3 appointed by the chair and given the power to report back at our next regularly scheduled meeting. This committee will consist of Rebecca, Nash, and Hunter, with Rebecca being the chairman. Is there any further business?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Vice President.
I move our chapter hold a hot dog eating contest during FFA week.
Second the motion.
I object to consideration of the question.
The question is, shall the question be considered? Madam Secretary, will you please assist me in counting the vote?
Yes, Madam President.
All those in favor of considering the question, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, please rise. Be seated. Madam Secretary, what was the outcome of that vote?
4 in favor, 1 against, Madam President.
With 4 in favor, 1 against, consideration of the question passes. We will consider the question. We're now back on discussion of the main motion that reads that our chapter hold a hot dog eating contest during National FFA Week. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Vice President.
I implore you all to pass this motion. A hot dog eating contest would be fantastic for our school spirit and especially for me. I think I could be the champion personally. I mean, look at this. We have so many people here that are willing to eat hot dogs. I'm sure Nash would love to eat some hot dogs, and we could win. The FFA chapter would get his name out there, and we'd be top dogs in the school. So I hope you all pass this motion.
Madam President.
Treasurer.
I disagree with the views of the previous speaker. As I do love eating hot dogs, however, I feel that this will be not a very good thing to do. We have a lot going on during National FFA Week. We have stuff going on every day. How are we going to fit this in our very busy schedule? So I encourage you all to fill this motion.
Madam President.
Recognize Secretary.
I'm strongly for this motion also. This is a great way to get our FFA chapter name out there. This is a learning experience for all. Everybody in the community can come and watch this. As the previous speaker said, we have 3 guys in here who can eat hot dogs all day long. So why really use this to our advantage? We can make bets out of this. Maybe just kind of a huge fundraiser for all. So get behind me and pass this motion.
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Sentinel.
I'm strongly against this motion. What if someone eats hot dogs too fast and ends up throwing up? Not only that, this could be a liability issue for the school. What if someone ends up choking and end up dying or something dumb like that would happen? That would not be good, so I believe we should fail this motion.
Madam
Chair
President,
recognizes Reporter.
I move to amend the main motion by striking out hot dog and inserting pie.
Second the amendment.
It's been moved and seconded by the Secretary that we amend the main motion by striking out the word hot dogs and inserting the words pie. Is there any discussion?
Madam
Chair
President,
recognizes Reporter.
I feel as though this is a much better idea. It would be really fun to have a pie eating contest.
We could get the teachers involved. We could get the younger kids involved. Having a bunch of kids shoving their faces into some pie, I think that would be very entertaining for the school, and it would really make it look like show how much our FFA chapter likes to have a really good time. So I hope y'all get behind me and pass this amendment.
Madam President.
I'm strongly against this amendment. In Wishek Public School, we have a peanut-free code, so to having to bake these pies is not something we can really consider doing, considering we have to keep in mind of that code itself. So get behind me and fill this amendment.
Madam President, I disagree with the views of the previous speaker, as she stated that we cannot have pies with peanuts. However, we do have a pie social during National FFA Week. We can find pies that don't have peanuts. Also, after the pie and ice cream social, we can have this pie eating contest with the leftover pie. So this will work hand in hand. So I encourage you to pass this amendment.
Is there any more discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote on the amendment that strikes out the words hot dogs and inserts the words pie. All those in favor of this amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion is lost. We will not amend the main motion by striking out the words hot dogs and inserting the word pie. We're now back on discussion of the main motion that reads that our chapter will hold a hot dog eating contest during National FFA Week. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Sentinel.
I move to postpone this motion indefinitely.
Second to postpone.
It's been moved and seconded by the reporter that we postpone this motion indefinitely. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Sentinel.
As I stated before, this motion is a terrible idea. I think we should postpone this indefinitely, never bring it up again. It's just not very applicable for our chapter, and it could just cause a lot of problems. So I encourage you all to pass this postpone.
Madam President,
Chair recognizes Secretary.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second, adjourn.
It's been moved and seconded by the treasurer that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. The motion is lost. We will not adjourn this meeting. We're now back on discussion of the postpone. That postpones this motion indefinitely. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Vice President.
This is a terrible idea. Why would we ever want to post this indefinitely? We can't bring it back. This is a great motion. I think it could be an option in future years to have a hot dog eating contest. We always have done a chili feed in the past. Maybe we could switch it up. Also, I feel like this postpone is just not necessary, just because for us to postpone it indefinitely, that would mean that we wouldn't be able to do it ever. And I just think a postpone definitely may be the better option. So I hope this postpone indefinitely does not pass.
Madam
Chair
President,
recognizes reporter.
I disagree with the previous speaker. I think postponing this is our best option right now. We really don't have the time to be discussing this. It isn't a good idea whatsoever. Getting rid of it will not really do any damage to our chapter at all. So I hope you get behind me and pass this postpone.
Is there any more discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote on the postpone. That postpones this motion indefinitely. All those in favor of this postpone, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We will postpone this motion indefinitely. Is there any further business? Further business. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any unfinished business which will now be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which may properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn the meeting of the Wishek FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please join me in a salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this meeting adjourned.